Approximately 80% of the world's population is deficient in vitamin D, scientific name calciferol. And the reason is that people underestimate its importance. Calciferol is needed at any age, and it affects all organs without exception. Today, we will tell you what health problems you can avoid by making up for the deficiency of this compound, why it should be taken together with magnesium, and how not to be poisoned by vitamin D supplements. A short list of diseases that vitamin D prevents. Bone disease. Calciferol is directly responsible for the absorption of calcium and phosphorus in the intestine and for bone mineralization. Heart and vascular disease. Optimal vitamin D levels reduce the risk of calcification of blood vessels and heart valves. High blood pressure. Calciferol stimulates the production of nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes vascular walls. Elevated sugar. Vitamin D helps glucose get into our cells, which greatly reduces the risk of diabetes. Overweight. Vitamin D improves the secretion of leptin, the satiety hormone, which helps to reduce caloric intake. Cold infections. Vitamin D strengthens innate immunity and also stimulates the production of antimicrobial peptides that increase the body's resistance to infections, especially respiratory infections. Autoimmune diseases. Calciferol regulates the activity of T lymphocytes and T regulatory cells, which help prevent excessive immune responses. Radiation shielding. Studies have shown that vitamin D produces proteins that protect the body from the effects of radiation damage. Dementia. Calciferol stimulates the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which supports nerve cell health and function. Tumors. Vitamin D stimulates the activity of natural killer cells, immune cells that can recognize and destroy cancer cells. Depression. Calciferol ensures the synthesis of serotonin, known as the happiness hormone. Insomnia. Replenishing vitamin D deficiency can relieve insomnia as it provides synthesis of the sleep hormone melatonin. Night cramps. Calciferol deficiency increases nerve excitability and causes muscle spasms, including nocturnal cramps. Weakness and fatigue. Vitamin D is involved in the expression of genes responsible for muscle protein synthesis. Essentially, calciferol provides muscle strength and endurance. Oxidative stress and inflammation. With its powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, calciferol prevents oxidative stress and chronic inflammation, which is where most age-related diseases begin. In fact, the list is much longer, as vitamin D affects organs both directly and indirectly. How do you know if you have a vitamin D deficiency? To do this, take a blood test for vitamin D or use a special home test. The results of the analysis are deciphered as follows. 5 nanomoles per liter and above is considered normal. Levels below 30 nanomoles per liter are considered excessively low. Levels above 125 nanomoles per liter are considered excessively high. So how do we get vitamin D? Our skin uses ultraviolet B rays to convert cholesterol into vitamin D. This is how we get 90% of this compound. To get a daily dose of the vitamin, it is enough to spend about half an hour in the sun at noon in summer. However, the farther away from the equator you live, the less you get B rays, the ozone layer absorbing some or all of them. Belgian scientists have established a surprising fact. It turns out that people in large cities are twice as likely to be vitamin D deficient as rural residents. It's all about ground-level ozone, which is formed by exhaust fumes and absorbs UVB rays. Window panes absorb most of the type B rays, and sunscreen blocks them altogether. Few foods rich in vitamin D are fatty fish, salmon, trout, tuna, sardines, mackerel, beef liver, egg yolks, mushrooms, and cheese. Sometimes manufacturers add vitamin D to breakfast cereal, plant milk, and butter. However, foods rarely cover more than 10% of the calciferol requirement. So many people need to take supplemental calciferol, especially during the winter. Vitamin D supplements. The most popular is fish oil. 1 tablespoon contains 3 times the daily requirement of an adult. There are others, but we'll just say that you'll find a letter designation on the labels, D2 or 3. The only difference between the two is that D2 is found in plant foods and D3 in animal products. What is considered the optimal dosage of vitamin D? A person's daily requirement of calciferol depends on age. Children under 1 year of age need 400 international units. Children over 1 year of age and adults under 70 years of age 600 units. Those over 71 years of age, 800 units. And now we'll cover what even experienced nutritionists overlook: how vitamin D is absorbed and what cofactors are. D2 and 3 are actually inactive forms of calciferol. Once in the body, they first undergo a chain of chemical transformations in the liver and kidneys, resulting in the formation of a substance, calcitriol, the active form of vitamin D. But all these processes occur only with the participation of cofactors, auxiliary substances that must necessarily enter the body. So here they are: magnesium. Without this mineral, there would be no enzymes that convert inactive forms of vitamin D into calcitriol. The following foods are rich in magnesium: zinc. Calcitriol activates its biological properties when it binds to receptors on the surface of our cells, but the binding only occurs in the presence of zinc. The following foods contain the most zinc: Vitamin K2 works in close conjunction with vitamin D to support bone and cardiovascular health. Vitamin K contains the following foods: Vitamin A. Calcitriol, in conjunction with this vitamin, provides a boost to bone development and immune cells. The most vitamin A you'll get from the following foods: boron. This trace element lengthens the half-life of vitamin D. Simply put, bore prolongs its shelf life in the body. You will get the most boron by consuming the following foods. K factors not only increase the activity of vitamin D, but also reduce the likelihood of its toxic effects. What is vitamin D intoxication? When calciferol is taken uncontrollably in excessive doses, blood calcium levels can become severely elevated, which can lead to calcium deposits in the kidneys, blood vessels, heart, and even lungs, as well as bone thinning and increased risk of fractures. To prevent intoxication, consider the upper tolerable limit of daily vitamin D intake. How can I prevent vitamin D intoxication? Take supplements in consultation with your doctor and enrich your diet with cofactors. And lastly, we'll tell you something interesting from the world of medicine: the Coimbra Protocol. Multiple sclerosis is an incurable autoimmune disease. However, Brazilian neurologist Dr. Cicero Coimbra developed his own therapeutic approach based on administering ultra-high doses of calciferol, thousands of times higher than the generally recognized daily allowance. After studying the effects of vitamin D on the body, the doctor concluded that this compound restores brain structure and regulates immunity. In practice, he determined that these ultra-high doses could help patients return to normal life. The doctor claims that intoxication will not occur if cofactors are taken. Many of the doctor's patients have reported improvements in their condition. However, conventional medicine has so far rejected the Coimbra Protocol. One thing is certain: science does not yet know the full capabilities of this mysterious vitamin. Research on it continues.
This content is for informational and educational purposes only. Consult with a doctor or healthcare professional before following any recommendations provided in this video. Tell us about your experience in the comments and subscribe to our channel.